Hello， 各位观众朋友们，大家好，欢迎回到我的频道啦。今天呢，我们要进行的是 Chapter 12。When it said on the golden ticket， 就是呢，我们今天 Charlie 要带来的 Chapter 啦。好啦，那我们呢，今天呢就赶快开始吧。在故事开始之前呢，我们要先来问问大家，上一个故事在讲什么呢？我们要先给各位5分钟的时间来思考看看，到底在思考什么呢？大家可以先按个暂停，然后等一下呢，我们再来看答案。好啦，那我们呢就来看看答案吧。解答就是 Charlie 他找到最后一张 golden ticket 了，对不对？那如果呢你没看过，等一下在片尾的时候，我会把这一个影片呢放在片尾，大家就可以去看咯。好，今天 Charlie 又会做出什么事呢？ It's time to discover， 要准备来揭晓咯。好，我们就开始吧。When it said on the golden ticket, Charlie burst through the front door shouting, "Mother, mother, mother!" Mrs. Bucket was in the old grandparents' room, serving them their evening soup. "Mother!" yelled Charlie, rushing in on them like a hurricane. "Look, I've got it! Look, Mother, look! I've got it! Look, Mother, look! The last golden ticket is mine! I found some money in the street, and I brought 2 candy bars, and the second one had the golden ticket, and there were crowds of people all around me wanting to see it, and the shopkeeper rescued me, and I ran all the way home, and here I am. It's the 5th golden ticket, Mother, and I've got it." 好啦，这边暂停一下，大家现在知不知道 Charlie 其实是有Charlie 拿到了 golden ticket 啊。Charlie 拿到 golden ticket 后，他跟他妈妈说他的开心啊哈。好，那我们就继续吧。Mrs. Bucket simply stood and stared, while the 4 old grandparents, who were sitting up the bed, balancing bowls of soup on their laps, all dropped their spoons with a clatter and froze against their pillow. For about 10 seconds, there was an absolute silence. 那 silence 呢，就是那个宁静，哇，大家都很感觉什么？你在说什么？ In the room, nobody dared to talk or move. It was a magic moment. Then, very softly, Grandpa Joe said, "You're pulling our legs, Charlie, aren't you? You're having a little joke." "I am not," cried Charlie, rushing up to the bed and holding out the large and beautiful golden ticket for him to see. Grandpa Joe leaned forward to take a close look, his nose almost touching the ticket. The others watched him, waiting for the verdict. 好，所以 Grandpa Joe 感觉他好像有那个Then very slowly, with a slow and marvelous grin spreading all over his face, Grandpa Joe lifted his head and looked straight at Charlie. The color was rushing to his cheeks, and his eyes were wide open, shining with joy, and in the center of each eye, right in the very center in the black pupil 就是眼睛的意思，眼睛。好，也是喽。A little spark of wild excitement was slowly dancing. Then the old man took a deep breath, and suddenly, with no warning whatsoever, an explosion seemed to take place inside him. He threw up his arm and yelled. 各位，我们先不要看腰，看到这张图的你就看着哇，跟他就直接站起来了，真的是哇 ，Oh my goodness， 这个跟他就直接站起来了，哇，然后他就说 ，and yelled Yippee! And all at once, his long bony body rose up out the bed, and his bowl of soup were flying into face of Grandma Josephine. 来，我们再看一次。这个汤哦，直接的快要去洒到 Grandma Josephine 了。哇，真的是 Grandma 就太开心了。他的孙子竟然能拿到他的 golden tickets 啊！哇，真的是太不可思议了。好 ，and then one fantastic leap, this old fellow of 96 and a half, who hadn't been out of bed for these last 20 years, jumped onto the floor and started doing a dance of victory in his pajamas. Yippee! He shouted 3 cheers for Charlie. Hip, hip, hooray! 哇，看得出来 Grandpa Joe 真的很开心啊。哇，真的是太... At this point, the door was open and Mr. Bucket walked into the room. He was cold and tired, and he looked it. All day long, he had been shoveling snow in the street. Cripes! He cried. What's going on in here? It didn't take them long to tell him what has happened. I don't believe it, he said. It's not possible. 对不对 ？Charlie 要拿到 golden ticket， 这真的是不可思议啦！哦。不可思议，怎么可能 ？Show him the ticket, Charlie! Shouted Grandpa Joe, who was still dancing around the floor like a dervish in his striped pajamas. Show your father the 5th and last golden ticket in the world. 哇，那最后他就是拿到他的最后一张 golden tickets 了。哇，非常的不错啊。好，下一个。Let me see, Charlie, Mr. Bucket said, collapsing into a chair and holding out his hand. Charlie came forward with a precious document. It was a very beautiful thing, this golden ticket having been made. So it seemed from a street of pure gold hammered all out almost to the thinnest of paper. On one side of it, printed by some clever method in jet black letters, was the invitation itself from Mr. Wonka. Read it aloud, said Grandpa Joe, climbing back into bed at last. Let's all hear exactly what it says. 好，所以 Mr. Willy Wonka 他也生出了声明稿嘛。好，那 Mr. Bucket 就要准备读了。Mr. Bucket held the lovely golden ticket up to his nose. His hands were trembling slightly, and he seemed to be overcome by the whole business. He took several deep breaths. Then he cleared his throat and said, All right, I'll read it. Here we go. 各位观众朋友们，我们就要准备来啦。这边哦，大堆文字。因为我这个图片上太小，所以你们可能有些人看不到，对不起齁。Greeting to you, the lucky finder of this golden ticket from Mr. Willy Wonka. I shake you warmly by the hand. Tremendous things are in store for you. Many wonderful surprises await you. For now, I do invite you to come to my factory, be my guest for one whole day. You and all others who are lucky enough to find my golden ticket. I, Willy Wonka, will conduct you around the factory myself, showing you everything that there is to see. And afterward, when it is time to leave, you will be escorted home by a procession of large trucks. These trucks, I can promise you, will be loaded enough delicious eatables for last you and your entire household for many years. Wow! Mr. Willy Wonka 竟然直接说很多年你可以拿到那么多的好吃的巧克力啊，什么什么什么的。哇，看起来非常的不错哦。好 ，If at any time thereafter you should run out of supplies, you have only to come back to the factory and show this golden ticket, and I shall be happy to refill your cupboard covered with whatever you want. In this way, you will be able to keep yourself supplied with tasty morsels for the rest of your life. But this is by no means one of the most exciting things that will happen on the day of your visit. I am preparing other surprises that are even more marvelous and more fantastic for you. And for all my beloved golden ticket holders, mysterious and marvelous surprises that will entrance, delight, enter, astonish, and perplex you beyond measure. In your wildest dream, you could not imagine that such things could happen to you. Just wait and see. And now, here are your instructions. OK, 那这边就要准备来看的是 instruction 咯。要进去这个地方要有什么呢？我们赶快来看看。The day I have chosen for the visit of the first is the first day in the month of February. On this day and on no other, you must come to the factory gates at 10 o'clock sharp in the morning. Don't be late, and you are allowed to bring with you either one or two members of your own family to look after you and to ensure that you don't get into mischief.One more thing is, be certain to have this ticket with you. Otherwise, you will not be admitted. Signed by Mr. Willy Wonka. 好的，各位，看完这个，大家是不是觉得哇，这个 Mr. Willy Wonka 他这个 ticket 到底会发生什么事，对不对？但是先不要急，我们还有一些故事还没有看完呢。哇，还有2页哦。The first day of February, cried Mrs. Bucket. But that's tomorrow. Today is the last day of January. I know it is. Cripes, said Mr. Bucket. I think you're right. You're just in time, shouted Grandpa Joe. There's not a moment to lose. You must start making preparations at once. Wash your face, comb your hair, scrub your hand, brush your teeth, blow your nose, cut your nails.Polish your shoes, iron your shirts, and for heaven's sake, get all that mud out of your pants. You must get ready, my boy. You must get ready for the biggest day of your life. Now, don't overexcite yourself, Grandma, Mrs. Bucket said, and don't flutter poor Charlie. We must all try this to be very calm.Now, the first thing to decide is who is going to go with Charlie to the factory. 好，问题来了，现在谁要跟 Charlie 一起去那个 factory 呢？大家觉得是谁呢？现在先按暂停，给大家1分钟时间，在下面留言，到底会是谁呢？来，我们给大家1分钟。好，大家应该留完言的话，我们就开始哦。I will, shouted Grandpa Joe, leaping out of bed once again. I'll take him, I'll look after him. You leave it to me. 哇 ，Grandpa Joe 第一个就直接 volunteer 咯。好 ，Mrs. Bucket smiled at the old man. Then she turned to her husband and said, "How about you, dear? Don't you think you ought to go?" Well, Mr. Bucket said, pausing to think about it.Pause 就是暂停。No, I'm not sure that I should. But you must! There's no must about it, my dear, Mr. Bucket said gently. Mind you, I love to go. It'll be tremendously exciting, but on the other hand, I believe that person who really deserves to go most all is Grandpa Joe himself. He seemed to know more about it than we do provided. Of course, that he feels well enough. Yippee! Shouted Grandpa Joe, seizing Charlie by their hand and dancing round the room. He certainly seemed well enough, Mrs. Bucket said, laughing. Yes, perhaps you're right after all. Perhaps Grandpa Joe should be the one to go with him. I certainly can't go myself and leave the other 3 old people all alone in bed for the whole day. 好，不好意思哦，这个我就看不懂了。Hollywood yelled Grandpa Joe. Praise the Lord. At the point, there came a loud knock in the front door. Mr. Bucket went to open it. The next moment, swarms of newspaper and photographers were pouring into the house. They had tracked down the finder of the 5th golden tickets, and now they are all wanted to get the full story of the front pages of morning paper. For several hours, they were completed pandemonium in the little house. It must have been nearly midnight before Mr. Bucket were able to get rid of them so that Charlie could go to bed. 好了，那我们第12 chapter 的故事就全部结束啦。就是 when it said on the golden tickets 这个呢故事就全部结束咯。那我们先来看一下下一集的标题 The Big Day Arrives。OK， The Big Day Arrives 就是很大的日子要迎来的。我们来看看哦。那大家觉得下一集又会发生了什么事呢？大家可以在下面留言。那 The Big Day Arrive 就是有什么大事要来了嘛？那应该就是 Charlie 他们要去那个 Mr. Willy Wonka 的他们的 factory 的吧？那 Charlie 他们又会出现什么事呢？我们就下一集再来看看到底会发生什么事咯。好啦，那各位这是今年最后一部影片咯。那也谢谢大家在今年的指教。那如果有任何的意见呢，欢迎在下面留言。那我们就2023年再见咯。好，那明年的影片，那如果呢你想看 Charlie 这个从第1 chapter 到 chapter 12呢，可以看这个播放清单。那我们就下次见咯，拜拜 ，See you。